guys, and welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander, and today I wanted to get into this story, which is rather unusual and horrible, um, and scary. It's all of the above, right? It's unusual, horrible, scary, and everything. It's kind of past Halloween, but this is a true story. So I wanted to get into this story, and I'm gonna be reading from the screenshots that I took from an Instagram user by the name of EZIYAJANAEE, who's gonna we're gonna go over this crazy tale. So bring your get your snacks and we'll definitely have to begin. Also, before we begin, I want to let you guys know that we're doing a mini series on the rise and fall of Tasha K on our Roku network on November 21st. It's right here on the screen. You can't miss it. It's going to stay up the entire day so you can't forget. And for anybody who wants to register to this coming Monday, we'll have a discount code so you can register. So keep that in mind as well. If you haven't already registered for our network, we're going to be offering anybody who wants to watch this a discount code to the network. You'll get a discount for the month of November, specifically for this series and the Sweetie Pie series. So we're going to have all of that ready, y'all. The both series, insane. And that's what we've been working on for y'all. Because y'all, I know y'all nosy, but y'all like the tea. But I also realize that a lot of you guys actually like to hear the full story put together. And so that's what we're going to be bringing to you. So we're going to do the rise and fall of Tasha K. The week after, the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing the full story from beginning to end on Sweetie Pies. So yeah, I appreciate you guys sending me all that information. Continue to send us all that information. And let's begin. So let's see who's all up in the building first. Okay. So hello, Adrian. Hello, F. Washington. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, She Snow. Hello, Miriam. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Kamiko. Hello, Unicorn and Nipples. Hello, Cece. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Brown Delight. Hello, Sanita. Hello, Lollipop. Hello, R. Virgil. Hello, Shan. Hello, Chocolate Bay. Hello, R. Virgil. I think I saw you already. Hello, Jada. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, Kim. Hello, Just Bougie. Hello, Shauna. What's up, Nosy or Inquisitive? Hello, Perfect Peace. Hello, Miss Money. Miss Money. Hello, Tess. Hello, Tour Season. That's me. Hello, Steph. Hello to myself. Hello, Tiny the Ninja. Hello, Queen Shell. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, Arnetta. Hello, is it BB the Budget Babe? Hello. Hello, Nicole. No Justice, No Peach. What's up? This is from Mrs. Riley says, hey, what's up, Ray Bishop? What's up, Alicia? Hello, Binky. Hello, Esther. Hello, She Smiles. I know y'all all in the building. Phew. Hello, Ebony. Hello, Latoya. How you doing? Hello, Nadia. What's up, E. Ortiz? Hello, Bella. How you doing today? Hello, Indiana. All the way from India, all the way from Facebook. What's up, Facebook? Shout out to Facebook for being the messiest app on the planet. When we all left and gave up and pushed you guys aside, we shouldn't have discarded you the way we discarded you. We need Facebook for its messy salaciousness. So our apologies in advance for giving up on y'all so soon. Post op ATL. What's up, post op ATL? Hello, S. Parker. Hello, Tamika. So let's get into this story here. So I'm going to blow it up. You're probably not going to be able to read it, but that's okay. I'm going to read it to you. Hello, Suli. I'm going to read it to you because the story is it's buck wild. It's buck wild. So yikes. So let me pull it up and I'm going to read it to you. And I also want to show you some images of the girl on Instagram before we get started because, you know, you should see what she looked like prior to all of this. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up her name. EZIYA. Here she is. Okay, so I'm going to pull up her image so you can just see what she's a pretty girl and she's young. And so I just want to make sure we just see her in her good light, not her bad light. Does that make sense? So here she is. This is her prior to her incident. And then let's get into the story. Wow, it's so hard. Okay, so let me switch screens and then we'll get into the story. Okay. Here we go. So you're not going to be able to read it, but I'll read it to you. So she starts off and says, at about 9:05 p.m. on November 1st, my life flashed before my eyes. I got a lift home after work, and when I got in the car, the driver was acting a little sketchy. The driver's name was Bruce, and he stated that, in quotes, I looked good and he would date me if it wasn't so, she said vound, but I think she means strange. He also asked me, in quotes, how many boys tried to flirt with her at work. From there, I knew something was up. And then here in this graphic, she shows you her Lyft driver's name as well as his license plate number. She continues and she says, oh, my apologies. Sorry about that. Let me get to the next screen. She continues and she says, when I enter the car, actually, I'm going to read it to you from her Instagram because it's a little bit too tiny on my Twitter. So I'm going to read it to you from here. Let me switch screens. It's just a little too small for my poor eyeball. So I'm going to read it to you from Instagram. Okay. So she says, when I entered the car, the windows were down and he mentioned to me how his doors locked automatically. And when he started driving, I heard him spraying a substance toward the ground, like so below. She said, and made sure that the substance wasn't visible to me. At first, I thought maybe he was spraying because his car had smelled like cigarettes or something. But then I noticed the spray that he kept spraying for the second time. And then he went and rolled the windows up. By that time, I got on my phone with someone because I felt unsafe and scared, and I had my hands covering my nose for the third time when he sprayed. He reached the spray. He reached for the spray one last time, and my body instantly shut down as if he was trying to drug me. I was very weak, and my body temperature rose. From there, all I could think about was getting out of the car. So immediately my brain began to work, and I tried to open the door one time and it wouldn't open. So I tried again. And at that point, I'm screaming and crying until the door opens. I looked down and I jumped out of the vehicle while he was still moving. Not to mention, he didn't stop the car as I was trying to evacuate, but proceeded to press the gas faster. Wow, hold on. There's more. She then goes on to say with these images here, she says, finally, I got out of the car and he continued to drive off. 2 minutes later, I heard a voice as I was laying on the ground saying, oh my God, I just saw you jumped out of a car. Are you okay? And I felt safe at that point because I thought somebody was there to help me. But then when I looked up, my heart dropped to my feet. It was the Lyft driver approaching me and he turned back around as if I wasn't there. If I wasn't there and that I wouldn't remember him. I acted like I didn't remember anything while he was alone with me. And then he calls the police as if he wasn't there to help me and tell me how I was trying to stand up in the middle of the street while he was trying to lure me over into the woods. He tried to get me back in the car, but I wasn't going. For it, I had nothing. My phone was in the street somewhere, and I was just scared and alone. She then goes on to say, this is my driver. Please watch out for him. He tried to manipulate the story to the cops and had time to throw his spray substance out of the car before it was before it was searched. And then more images. Yikes. And then this is the image of the person she stated who did the driving. Let me hear from you guys. Man, this is wild. It's crazy. I use Lyft daily. Now, I have a vehicle. Okay, so I have a car. I own a car. But sometimes I walk about, my city's a walkable city, so I can walk about my city. But sometimes when I walk too far, like into the city, and I'm like, I want to run, then I like in my brain, I'm like, I want to run errands. I'll just take a Lyft. I won't walk all the way back home. I'll just take a Lyft. But I take Lyft because I just don't mess with Uber. This is wild. Story gets even wilder because there's a YouTuber on here who claimed that he found this gentleman. So let's get over to this YouTuber's stories because I want to watch what he had to say about it. Let me pull it up for you here. Hold on one second. One moment. Someone sent it over to me. Was it yesterday? I get so many emails. Hold on. Here he is. Got it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Okay. Minimize this. I got the link. Where are we? We're here. Nope, not here. Here.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
So this guy by the name of Skip Tracer, shout out to him. Go send him a follow. Now, if you don't know what skip tracing is, it's just people who are really good at tracking people across the internet and across the globe. He stated that he had found him. Now, again, this is all alleged, but I'm going to get into this video. But before we get into his video, let me read some of y'all comments so we can, before we can begin, because I don't want there to be a whole bunch of questions. And don't forget, download the Nosy Bystanders on Roku. And coming November 21st, we're going to have the Rise and Fall of Tasha K, the mini series. So watch that. Okay, this is from Shauna says, Lyft, Uber, they need to do better screening these people. Like literally, like why don't they do background checks? I mean, like even if you do a background check, it doesn't catch a serial killer, right? The serial killer is already like, you understand what I mean? Like if the serial killer's never been caught, what's the background check going to do? You know what I mean? Like how exactly do you vet someone who doesn't have a criminal history, but who has a history of preying on people, right? This is from Nisha. Nisha says, people crazy. Got to be careful for real. This is from Esther. Augustine said, this is why I stay strapped up with my little and my mace. I play zero games. I feel you. What's up, Cammy on the go? This from Brown Delight says, she better keep her piece of steel with her. I'm licensed here in Florida, baby. I don't play. Ciao. Tish says, I take a Lyft regularly, but I also carry. Y'all, you got to stay. It's getting ghettoer and ghettoer and ghettoer out here. So you got to really stay safe, you know? You really have to stay safe. And yikes. Let's just hit play, okay?
Channel. So just recently I was on Google Newsfeed and I came across a story in North Carolina. Basically, a young girl, 17, 18 years old, was taking a Lyft, as in L-Y-F-T. She had a Lyft driver and he picked her up and he started to get creepy. This is allegedly, of course, this is according to her. I have no reason looking at the story to not believe her, but still keep in mind, this is just according to her. So she started to feel creeped out by this guy saying things like, oh, if you weren't so young, I would date you. Do all the boys hit on you? You know, creepy things like that. Well, creepy for anyone, but creepy for a Lyft driver to be asking a young woman. Now, she started to feel very creeped out. Apparently, he had sprayed something out of sight, but he had sprayed something in the vehicle, and she just had enough. She actually jumped out of the car because she felt like she was in danger, and I think it was probably the best decision because you never know what this guy could have done. You never know what he sprayed. But she sustained some injury. She went to the hospital, to the emergency room, and she's just really thankful to be alive because maybe it was nothing, but it was probably something given how this guy was acting and, again, what he sprayed. So apparently the police have not made arrests on him and his identity has not been released, but I'm going to change that because I decided to look into this guy and I'm going to show you exactly what I found. So I actually couldn't get a lot of details from the different news sites that I went to. So I decided that she had a pretty unique name and she's in North Carolina. So I decided to go to her Facebook and this is what I found. And just be warned that some of the images are graphic. So as you can see from her Facebook, at 9:05 p.m. on November 1st, my life flashed before my eyes. I got a Lyft home after work. When I got in the car, the driver was acting very sketchy. The driver also posted a mention to me cigarettes, but was getting out of the car, so immediately my door opened, stopping, and he's speeding up. So obviously something's up. Finally, I got out of the car and he continued to drive off. 2 minutes later, heard a voice as I was laying on the ground say, "Oh my God, just saw you jump out of a car. Are you okay?" I felt so safe at this point because I thought somebody was there to help me. But when I looked up, my heart dropped at my feet. It was the Lyft driver approaching me. He turned back around as if I wasn't going to remember him. I acted like I didn't remember anything while I was alone with him. He then calls the police as if he wasn't there to help me and tell me how I was trying to stand in the middle of the street while he was trying to lure me over to the woods. He tried to be terrifying. This is what else she posted concerning this incident. "This was my driver. Please watch out for this man. He tried to manipulate the story to the cops and had time to throw the spray substance out of the car before it was searched." So it shows Bruce, Volvo S90, and it showed that he would arrive in Raleigh, North Carolina at 9:05 p.m., drop off at 9:27 p.m. So this was relatively a short drive. Again, I am going to knock out his license plate, but I'll keep the rest of the information there. Okay, so we have a very clear picture of him, and this is actually the picture I used to run a PIMI search. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you know that I use PimEyes all the time in my searches, both for work and YouTube. So I tricked this face and I put it in PimEyes. By the way, if you're interested in PimEyes, I do have an affiliate link in the description. If you are interested and you could use that link, it would help out the channel. I'd appreciate it. These are the results that came up when I did the PimEyes search. Now, the very first result looks like him. Let me show you what that leads to. This right here is a blog. It's chucklawless.com. It's a September 2016 blog. We have a picture of him, and it says, today's guest blogger is Bruce Ashford. Now, he's a professor of theology and culture at the Southeastern Seminary in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Bruce Ashford, Christianity for the Common Good. So if this is him, this is absolutely nuts.
Not as saying Christianity for the common good. Be for real. Be for real. Okay. Because there's not a lot. This video is not very long, but come on now. Let me go back a little because I want to read a couple of snippets from that article. It says, today's guest blogger is Bruce Ashford, provost and professor of theology and culture at Southeastern Seminary in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Holy cow, he's a provost? That means, wow, and he's a professor, allegedly. So I asked him to write this post because I think his scripture memory plan is worth knowing. Read more about Dr. Ashford's writings on his website at Ashford Christianity for Good. Then it says, it happened to most of us in the church leaders gradually and without notice. We slip into the habit of viewing the scripture more as an object to be dissected than a spiritual feast to nourish our souls. All the Christians come to the front. Jerica, I know. What's up, Yada? This is from BB says, these people are really sick, but I stay ready with the pepper spray and the ice pick chow. This from Tish. Tish says, I received a survey today from Lyft asking how to increase feeling of safety. I suggested cameras and video recording. Literally. Literally. Now, Brown Delight says, chow, he a preacher. He's a preacher and a professor. Hold on, I gotta get some water. I'm so thirsty. He's a preacher and a professor, honey. Like he out here teaching theology, child. Child. He said new fear unlocked. New fear unlocked. New fear unlocked. New fear. It's not funny, but it's just like it's like right up the alley for these like cishet white evangelicals, you know what I mean? Like it's did someone mention the Green River Killer in the chat? Wasn't the Green River Killer like an avid churchgoer? Like didn't he go to church every day or every Sunday with his wife? The Lord is now my question is, what is the skip tracer, if he's accurate, what is a professor doing as a Lyft driver? Or is it that a cover? Immediately. That's right. What's up, Tori Season says, I'm glad she's okay and made it out safely as possible. Me too, but chow. Let's get into the person who allegedly did it. This is from Shauna. Shauna says, I got my permit to carry, and the reality is you have to have it these days. That's right. Esther says, why do these creeps always hide behind Christianity? I'm sick of it. Let's get back into the video. Can we get back into the video? Chow. Let's get back into this video, honey.
Bruce Ashford, Christianity for the Common Good. So if this is him, this is I put his name in quotes in Google, Bruce Ashford, and then Lyft outside of the quotes, Lyft. So I did find a LinkedIn, but the page was down. I don't know when it was removed. I looked for a cached version of it and I didn't find anything. So we're not going to be able to use that. I continued my Google search. Then I came to a page called the Wartburg Watch 2022. I have no idea what this is, but it has a reference to Bruce Ashford and Lyft. So I think there's a page called the Wartburg.
Okay, the skip tracer, he didn't know what it is, but we gonna read it because we nosy. Okay, let's see what this is, honey. Let's see what this document is. It says, It looks like a what's it called? A forum. It looks like a forum. It says if you read a bit more on Facebook, his Facebook page, he mentions having to drive for Lyft 30 to 40 hours a week to make ends meet, from provost to Lyft driver. I don't have anything against Bruce Ashford or Daniel Atkins per se, but I am appalled at the cover up, the good old boys club, especially the evangelical world. Private life is a private life, but when you put a semester because of the powers that be the moderate Baptists will call attention. So he lost his job. Bruce Ashford and Daniel Atkins, why did they lose their job? I gotta Do y'all mind? Can I do a quick Google search? What was his name? Daniel Atkin. What did they do? Ooh, is this, did he, ooh, child. Let me check. Let me share my screen. Hold on. We might have some. Hmm. Okay, this is from 2019. It says Bruce Ashford, the immigration reform will make America good as well as great. Fox News. This is a superb article by Seabit's Provost. That's him, Bruce Ashford, and it shows us a way forward on difficult issues, balancing two essentials: mercy and justice. Oh, honey child, look what I found. Hold on. Look what I found. He did an opinion piece for Fox News. He did an opinion piece for Fox News. Y'all want to watch it? Because we're going to watch it. I don't care what y'all say. We're going to watch it. This from April. April says, and what was the substance he was spraying in the car, and how did it didn't affect him? Maybe she was just, I don't know if he was spraying a substance in the car. I think that maybe she was, with COVID and stuff, there's some people who still wear masks when they drive. You know what I mean? So she didn't state if he wore a mask or not. The second thing is, I think that she was just kind of she was hyper uncomfortable with him. So immediately she was just like, you know what I mean? So she was like, what is he spraying? So it's probably, you know how like your adrenaline gets up? So it could have been nothing. I'm not saying it wasn't nothing, but when your adrenaline gets up, do you understand what I'm trying to say? She could have got freaked out and said, "Oh, what is this?" And it could have literally been perfume if he smoked cigarettes. This from Brown Delight says most of the Lyft drivers I use have their cameras. This is absolutely nuts, but Lyft has an option there. You can send a link to people to set up automatically every ride. Yeah, that is true. They do set that up. Shauna says, I need a skip tracer for every man I date. Call him. He got a tiny little YouTube channel. I'm sure he wouldn't mind doing just a little bit of sleuthing for you from Tinder. He said, woo child, not the regular story, but a whole cover up, honey. He lost his job because he was there playing with God, child. Let's watch this video he did.
Between light and darkness.
Hold on. Let me just mute it. I'm going to mute it while the commercial plays. There we go.
The Supreme Court heard arguments today about the legal fate of illegal immigrants who came to the country as children. Fox News chief legal correspondent and anchor of Fox News at Night, Shannon, the tea leaf read.
Arguments, I think, dreamers, people brought to the U.S. illegally as children. Now, they've spent years relying on an Obama-era program the Trump administration calls unconstitutional and illegal. Justice Sotomayor saying today federal agencies have limited resources, so she questioned why they should be focused on DACA recipients. Quote,
okay, 1 second. He didn't do this piece, but he did do the article below, okay? So that's where his opinion piece comes in. Okay, so we're going to ignore that article, and I want to read what he wrote. He said, during the upcoming weeks and the months, conservatives have an opportunity to do the right thing by enacting a restitution-based immigration reform legislation that will secure our borders, deport dangerous immigrants, allow temporary documentation for immigrants, will pay us willing to pay a significant fine and protect innocent dreamers. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with that. That's actually a really great policy. I'm sorry, you guys. Like that's a pretty liberal policy. It is, right? Because you want to protect the borders, even though there's nothing wrong with our borders, but you still want to protect them. You also want to make sure you don't have just any dangerous person in the country, not just because they're talking about Hispanics. Okay, let's be for real. You don't want anybody crossing the northern or the southern border to be dangerous. You do want to allow immigration documentation for immigrants. You don't want to kick up the price because being an immigrant is already tough enough. But also, too, you do want to protect the dreamer. So I actually agree with this policy, except the whole higher fines for migrants. Come on, they're migrants. Let's be for real. So he just writes this think piece. We're not going to read the whole thing, but he definitely contributed to Fox News. And there he is, Bruce Ashford Riley. That's him. That's him. But look at this, honey child. He deleted his Twitter account. Y'all can't see it because I didn't show you. Let me show you. This account is gone. Just like the skip tracer wasn't able to find his LinkedIn, is because he deleted it. But he also deleted this. What happened at the university is the mystery. What happened at the university? What happened? What did he do? I have to know. I'm sorry, you guys. We're just gonna have to be doing a little bit of digging today because we got to know why he is no longer at the university. Something is amiss because you don't go from a professor to a Lyft driver. Let's be for real. Okay, hold on one second. He's got an audio book. Where did he, let me go back again. I got to go back. I got to figure out where he was teaching at. It said he was teaching at Southeastern Seminary. So let me look that up again. Here we go. Yeah, he was a dean, professor of theology. He's very decorated. Ooh, wee. Okay, let me get some of your comments. You said, whoa, and Fox allowed it. It is an opinion piece. Okay, let's be for real. It was an opinion piece. Fox never said it was fact. They said it was just an opinion from a Christian theologian, because that's what he is. But that's all they said. Oh, here we go. Huh. Okay, I found an article. Let me share my screen. And we'll read it together because I just clicked on it. Here it is. It says, "Where's Bruce Ashford and did they give him cake?" This was from August 9th of 2021. It says, "My mother came home from the hospital. My daughter as well. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks to Todd for providing that from time to time. I knew, where is it? Oh, Ashford resigned from his position at CBIST as provost on June of 2020. He remained a professor, theologian, and culture. In an email on July 6, faculty and staff at Southeastern Baptist Theologian Seminary were informed that Bruce Ashford had resigned as provost. Ashford will remain a seminary, returning full-time classes, according to the email. The professor, theologian, and culture, Keith Whitfield, Dean of Graduate Studies, will serve as an acting provost. I'm thankful to Dr. Ashford for his love." Why did he resign? Someone says he was an interesting lecturer who knew his stuff and had so much experience to add textbook materials. I was sad to see him go last semester. I hope he's coming back. Here says, "Rate my professor." Got a 3 out of 3.3. He was pretty easy. low difficulty level. Would you take it again? 100% say yes. But it doesn't say much. Here's his Twitter. Wow, somebody dedicated a whole page to him. Who is this guy? This guy's like a liberal, right? It says Summit Church. We believe that Ashford and Greer attended Campbell at the same time, but no one really tells us why he left. Here he is again. This is the chapel highlights. This is kind of like highlight, like, okay, let's get to the comments. Someone says, as for now, he never existed. Hope everyone stays healthy. Bruce Riley Ashford. I remember Ashford was hired. I remember thinking he was younger than me and seemed weird. Atkins praised him like he was going to be the next Moeller, but students really liked him as a professor, as they said. People said that he was thoughtful and honest. I still was a bit weary because I saw his pattern of hiring very young professionals, pastors, elders, and new Calvinist movement. It just didn't seem wise to me. I wonder if it could be a third thing with the comments on why he resigned from Provost. What is he questioning his new Calvinism? Seavist has some people teaching the undergraduate level who don't fit the new Calvinist movement. Something happened with the separation. Divorce, I think? Maybe. Perhaps Ashford only got a sitting ovation as Seavist on his way out. No sustained standing applause, no accolades in all the seminary meetings, no cake, no gold watch, willingly or forced to pounce out of the jungle somewhere else. These sound like his old students. Let me get to you guys. There's a lot of people questioning like where he went. Maybe he did it to himself. I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. Taurus season says he probably harassed someone and they gonna snitch and ask him to remove himself from the school. Yeah, like give him a nice separation so that in case he wants to teach at another university, you know what I mean? But he left in 2020. He left before the pandemic. Wow, looks like we got a I hate to sound like Scooby-Doo, but it sounds like we got a mystery on our hands. First, we got to figure out why did this guy separate from the university? Where did he go? He seemed like, if you ask me, he seemed like he had a well-decorated career. It seemed like he was a provost. He was the, lead dean of his department. He was doing TED Talks and he was what's it called? He was on as a Fox News contributor. He seemed decorated. Prior to pulling this up, I actually pulled up one of his syllabus, one of his syllabi that popped up. He was a professor. Yes, he knew he was allegedly. Yeah, allegedly. You said see if he taught anywhere else. Well, he's a theologian, so he probably did, but he was young, so he probably didn't, because when you're that young, the first university you get into, you're gonna keep. He said most predators have clean record. Hiding in plain sight. The school knows something. This is from Kaylin Cakes. Kaylin Cakes. Hey, Kaylin, how you doing? Says, that seems like there was some type of inappropriate relationship. Just go quietly and we won't tarnish your name. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. But why get rid of your Twitter and your LinkedIn? Do you think it's because he couldn't get a letter of recommendation to a new university? You know how like if you leave the university quietly, they're like, we're just going to separate from you. We're not going to say anything bad. Just go. Do you think it's because without a letter of recommendation, you're not going to get a job at another university? I don't know if most of y'all probably know that, but if you separate from a university, they're going to want to know why. Even if the university doesn't say anything bad, they're like, well, do you have a letter of recommendation from someone good? So you can't just like get a new job. It's going to be hard. Academia is a difficult place to navigate. So was he single? Maybe family illness? No, because if it was a family illness, he wouldn't have quit his job. He would have just took a step down, like a sabbatical. He wouldn't have quit. That makes no sense. Why quit? Even if you are single, you still have to eat. You understand what I mean? Because he's Ubering. He's Ubering. Crazy. You said Bruce was a pastor. He may have done some misconduct with a student, or they caught him with some freaky stuff. Something, and the Bible college didn't want to be linked to the scandal. Yeah, could be. We might have to do some digging on this guy. Now, even if this guy isn't a part of this attack of this young woman, him leaving the university is still a mystery because now he's just fallen off the face of the planet. But let's get back into I want to get back into the video of the skip tracer because he does explain a lot more. Okay, so let me pull this up. We were here. Let me mute my.
What this is, but it has a reference to Bruce Ashford and Lyft. So I think that's a pretty good hit at this point. We have a picture match. We have his first name from what the girl posted, and now we have this page and his profession as Lyft in correlation with his name. So now we have his name and a reference to Lyft. We have the picture match through PimEyes. I think we got it. I think this is definitely the correct person. Now, of course, this is just all alleged. This is just my guess based on the information I found, but take a look at it for yourself. Tell me what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Is this the correct person? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you look at this comment right here, if you read a bit more on his Facebook page, he mentions having to drive for Lyft 20 to 30 hours a week to make ends meet. And it goes on to talk about Bruce Ashford. So I think this is definitely him. Okay, so there's probably a lot more information we can find out about Bruce, but I really wanted to get this information out there to the public because it looks like, from what I read, no arrests have been made. So he could be out there doing this to another woman. So I think it's really important to get this out there now. Once again, please understand that I am not saying 100% sure that this is Bruce Ashford, the guy that this woman is talking about. But from my research, I think it's him. Anyway, I'd be very interested to hear what you think about this. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about this. But let's get this information out there. Share it so we can potentially protect another woman from being hurt. With that, I wish you all a fantastic rest of the day, and please be safe.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I want to go back into that article because into this forum these kids put together of him. His former students, if you just joined us, we're trying to get into the story of Bruce Ashford, somebody who's being accused of attacking a Lyft rider. And that video was from a skip tracer who was trying to figure out basically who this guy is. Now, we pulled up this forum that someone had created back in 2020, 2021, and people are just in the comments speculating what they think is going on. Someone said perhaps Bruce got a sitting, sorry, we already read that. It said he and I started seminary as CBIT about the same time and were in at least one of the classes together. So he attended this university before he started working there. He sat a lot closer to the professors than I did and often volunteered to assist them with various ways. However, I had withdrawal due to health reasons. When I returned a few years later, he was a professor, probably full professor, and that was a bit of a shock. My only other real memory of him was accidentally calling him Bruce, and not to be disrespectful, just to have it before, in his office at a Great Commission Center, and received it as Dr. Ashford as a correction. Somebody said maybe she will allow me to take one of her with the mask on. A bridal mask, a bridal COVID mask, lace mask, set mask, something. I don't know what that means. So it says also there is a thing that I've noticed in some churches. It's a little guy who gets church discipline, and it's the pastor type to seem to avoid it, which goes back to the recent post about Todd highlighted about Timothy 1. Yeah, this guy's a mystery. This guy's a real mystery. Somebody says Bruce was there way before Atkins' presidency. So Atkins, the other person who resigned, was the president. He was first hired by Paige Patterson and studied under him. He was his protege of Paige Patterson, and some might call him a disciple. He was offered a job to venture down with Paige and Dorothy to Fort Worth but declined. The offer to Wake Forest was too good to refuse. So I said, yes, I know, I was there. He was hired to teach undergrad my first year. He and Patterson was there. Hmm. Nobody knows. Let's go to the bottom of this forum. Let's see if anyone has updated this anytime soon. No, the last person to reply was August of 2021. And they said, probably not. I don't have a firsthand knowledge of either Ashford or Seabitz, and I don't know. I don't think you'd welcome me as an analysis under something, legal analysis, red team fact checking. If there was misconduct afoot, I always keen to hear about it. Customarily, the investigation and verification of facts would come before publication of the story, at least accompanied by the inference of wrongdoing, at least in the Hearst construct. Somebody's working on a story about him by the name of Timothy Helm. Oh, wait. Somebody said, did you ever find any evidence of malfeasance or shenanigans about Ashford or Seabeat? He said, hey, Gatsby, thank you for your interest in our work. You'll be happy to know that we're still working on a story. And correct me if, wow, I wonder if this person is still working on the story. Oh my God. If somebody's still working on a current story on him, do they even know about this incident? This is from Ashlyn says, can she sue Uber for the attack, or what about suing the car insurance company for the incident? Well, first he had to be arrested. So they could deem her as just a crazy person who rolled out of a car, a moving vehicle. So she'd have to be able to prove that she was attacked. By her just rolling out of the vehicle and him not being arrested or taken to jail, she's got no case. You see what I mean? They're just like, oh, you're just crazy and you rolled out of a car. We're not paying you. Why'd you roll out of the car? He attacked me. Did he get arrested? No. There's not a whole lot of proof of attack. Does that make sense? Ashlyn says, I'm missing something. Was the reported on the local news? Or it sounded like it was reported. The person, Skip Tracer, said he found the story on Yahoo News. So maybe it was. I didn't see it. I saw it on TikTok. And then I went to Instagram and I saw it on Instagram. But apparently it's all over Facebook. But I haven't heard much about it. It's like, is it new? Is he married? We don't know. He paid a pretty penny. That's right. You said, yes, they need to catch him before something happens to someone else. I want to get back into this forum because it sounds like somebody's conducting a story on him. It's interesting. Yes, like nobody knows where he went. It's like the whole school. It's like all the professors they're talking about. It's like nobody works there anymore. The president's gone. Another teacher by the name of what's his name? I'm sorry, I just scrolled past it. Dr. Nielsen is gone. Bruce is gone, or Bruce Ashford is gone. It's like all these teachers are just kind of flying out of the sky. Do you think it was on purpose? It says the photo from the fall Photoshop of 2020 actually resides in the Provis of July 2016. Can only see a sheet of sleeve, but it matches the shot of Danny Atkins. He left that school for a reason, and I think it had to do with, like the person said in the comments, shenanigans. Silently quitting their jobs. This from Ashton says, I wonder why the cops weren't called. They were called, but he wasn't arrested. He stated that if you scroll back into this live, the Skip Tracer stated the cops were called. Bruce Ashford called the police because she had rolled out of the car, but he wasn't arrested because we don't know what he told the police. You know, he comes off as a clean-cut white guy just driving Lyft, and this erratic black girl just rolls out of his car. Do you understand what I mean? So you see what he looks. The guy is clean cut. if he just talks with a monotone demeanor, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, he's crazy, put him in jail. They're going to be like, he's probably like, look, I've been driving Lyft for about 2 years. I get all kinds of crazy. She just rolled out of the car and she's all disheveled and bruised up and sounding crazy. So they're probably like, just take her to the hospital. You understand what I mean? He must have told them a wild story. He must have told them a wild story for them not to arrest him. He must have told them a wild story because, you know, wild story. You say it's a school legit. Yeah, it's a seminary school. Seminary schools exist. That's where you get all those pastors from, right? That's where the pastors come in. They're theologians. That's usually 10 times out of 10. If you're going to listen to a pastor, you're going to want to, if you have a pastor, you want to make sure they're a theologian with a PhD. That means that they have studied all languages that are in reference to the Bible and the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Torah. They have a well-rounded understanding of religion versus someone who's like, oh, my daddy was a pastor, so I'm gonna preach. Okay. You want a theologian to teach you, right? So a theologian would be somebody like Dr. Tony Evans, right? Doctor in front of their name. I think he taught at Oxford. Dr. Jamal Bryant, Dr. T.D. Jakes, okay? Anybody with doctor in front of their name, those are theologians. So those are the people who have, they speak Hebrew. They have a full understanding of all, if not most, of the major religions. They also have taught from the Quran, the Torah, all, the Dead Sea Scrolls, as well as the King James Bible. So they have a full round understanding. So if you ever see a pastor and he has doctor in front of his name, it means like you may not agree with them, but he is a theologian and he has a full circumference of religion and religiosity. So those are the ones you're really supposed to lean onto. Not just a bunch of kooks, who like, oh, it was the spirit was in me to be a pastor. It's like, I don't know. Do you know Hebrew? Can you understand what I mean? Tread lightly with him. Yeah. This is from Kara says, that's why Jeffrey Dahmer got cops off analyzing. Correct. This is from Brown Delight says, see, this is what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, got you. Saying, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer, if you're well spoken, you can easily get out of a lot of you can get out of a lot of trouble. You can get out of a lot of trouble simply because you just know. Sorry, I went to his LinkedIn page. Yeah, it's gone. He got rid of his LinkedIn page. If I go back, here's an article saying that he resigned, but nobody knows why. It's a mystery. No one that investigated it. No one ever investigated. Wake Forest says in an email on Monday, July 6th, faculty and staff member Theological Seminary was informed that Bruce Ashford will resign as provost. But didn't say nothing else. Hold on, let me get some of your comments. What's his full name? His name is Bruce Ashford. You said White may not have said anything. White what? Ray Bishop says, be careful. Some of these doctorates are honorary and from unaccredited Bible colleges. This one is not unaccredited. And those three pastors I named, Dr. Tony Evans, Dr. Jamal Bryant, and Dr. T.D. Jakes, they did go to accredited universities. You got to give them that much. Jamal Bryant definitely graduated from Oxford University. But yeah, you're correct on the whole honorary stuff. Yeah, heavy on that. This from Ashland says, that's how murderers get away. Probably have a lot of other victims and they buried in his cabin. Oh, man, it's like we can't find anything on this guy. Really scrubbed the internet clean. And now we don't even know why he quit his job. There's not a whole lot on him. There's not a lot on him. There's not. He does this speech 3 days before he quit his job. On July 3rd, he quit his job on July 6th. He's still in the school's roster. History of democracy is what he teaches. He teaches Christian theology and history of democracy. How conflicts within Islam will shape the future. This guy seems really smart. I'm scared that I'm not gonna lie. The Shia revival sounds like something I would read. Definitely sounds like something I would read. Let me get to your comments. Sorry, you guys. What city again, Steph? They didn't say the city, so I have no clue. I apologize. I have no idea. Mainly, he's creepy with women. I don't know where this man came from, where he's at, but it would be wise for us to take another deep dive into him, because even if he's not her assailant, right? And it's just the skip tracer guy is wrong. It's still interesting that a professor would just leave a university, and then the president leaves the university, and then another professor leaves the university, and no one says anything otherwise. And what kind of professor leaves a decorated career to drive Lyft? I know a good chunk of professors. I just do. Don't ask me how. They're not quitting their jobs anytime soon to drive Lyft, okay? Most of them make anywhere between 89 and $130,000 a year. They're not quitting that to make $25,000 a year. Come on, are you kidding me? So crazy. So I don't know much about him, but I'll do some digging tonight, and maybe I'll have some information ready tomorrow. But tomorrow I wanted to get into a couple of other stories that I'll share with you guys. You'll see it. I'm going to post the live stream and we're going to get into them. But remember, tomorrow is Takeoff's funeral. I don't know if you guys forgot that or not, but tomorrow, Wakanda Forever Part 2 debuts in theaters, as well as Takeoff's funeral. So tomorrow we're going to be watching the highlights of his funeral. The live stream might be a little bit earlier in the day because I really want to catch it. It's at 9 a.m. and I want to be able to watch it live and just see who's there, and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll do a live. We'll probably just do the live stream the same time tomorrow, because a lot of us are going to be at work. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll watch his live stream of his funeral, and we'll see. I don't know if there's going to be cameras or anything there, but we will definitely be staying up to date on Twitter to see who's there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they have a live viewing of the service so we can see who arrives. If Beyonce, because Beyonce sang at Kobe's funeral, and I feel like Beyonce should sing at Takeoff's. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. So we are going to see who's going to sing. It's not going to be Monica. So please don't stop asking Monica and Mary J. Blige to sing at everybody's funeral. Those women do not want to be associated with death, okay, with their voices. So it's not going to be Monica. If it is, I owe you guys a Coke, okay? But tomorrow's Takeoff's funeral, we're going to be keeping it up-to-date coverage with that, seeing who's attending, who's not attending, and so on and so forth. And I'll see you guys later. That's all I got for you. Please register. It's free to the Nosy Bystanders. There's the link in our bio if you don't have a Roku device. On November 21st, we're going to be doing a tiny mini series called The Rise and Fall of Tasha K. And then the week of Thanksgiving, so you got something to watch with your family, we're going to be putting together an entire full series of sweetie pies from beginning to the end. Going to be sad. And if you know the full story, you're probably going to like the way that we've put it together. So at least you got something to watch with family. Also too, for the month of November, we're going to be sending out a discount code for all of our subscribers who have subscribed but didn't pay, because there's tons of shows that are available and we want to make sure we give you guys something for the holidays. So please register now. We're sending out those codes this week, so you'll be able to register at a discounted rate. I think it's going to be like $6 a month for the month of November. So you can make sure you get in, watch all that good juicy stuff, and then don't get out. Okay, don't leave. Okay, and then we're gonna have this for the week of Thanksgiving, so you have something to watch with family, as well as the docuseries Sweetie Pies. So I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. Thank you guys again. I'll see you tomorrow. Takeoff's funeral, and we're just gonna pay our respects so he can get laid to rest. But we also gonna be nosy because we got to see who's showing up. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.